comes in, she can just jump in.
Sure.
Two things, Michael. You had mentioned about the precincts and polling places. I think you're right now, two. You mentioned that you're seeking alternate locations, but assuming those are resolved and you find another place for I know the one is Jackson East and the other, I guess you'll let us know. It's probably a Palmyra, but that means you're not intending to really consolidate, even though the Department of State and the Act is allowing for that, and some counties are planning to do that. At this point, your goal was to keep as many, if not all, open, and it sounds like you're on track to do that.
He's muted.
Yeah, he's getting there.
There we go.
Now. Okay. Thank you. That's a very good question, Jamie. Yeah, so it's North Cornwall South that we're working on. That note came in while I was on this, so I'm hoping we can work that out. But you are correct. The goal is to have all 60 precincts open. Obviously, Jackson East is going to move to a different location, and if we have any others, the goal will be to move them and not consolidate. The state allows us to consolidate precincts. However, there is restrictions that I feel that, if we have to go that route, we will. But with consolidation, you have to keep everything separate. And by keeping everything separate means that you're bringing more people into one location, and then you're having to somehow explain to them which way to go or where to go. I think it kind of counterproductive with social distancing if you're bringing more people to one location. When we're encouraging people to vote by mail to try to keep the number of people at a precinct to a minimum. So, yes, we're working to try to have all 60. We'll have that plan definitely in place by the 13th, unless we have some last-second changes. But we're really close to having it all complete. Like I said, just trying to get the last couple just to confirm. And then there's some questions out there. Jamie and I, you and I'll probably have to talk. But just, some questions that polling locations have about what we can do and what we're doing, things like that.
Okay, I see Laura's here, so I have another comment, but why don't we just go there? That's all right, Mr. Chairman.
All right, Laura LeBeau, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. This is Bill Ames, and I'm chairman of the Board of Elections, so we're welcoming your questions.
Thank you. I apologize. I was on my laptop and then I lost connection, and now I'm on my cell phone. And if Michael already answered this, I apologize, but I was missing for a moment. The question is, did you mention, Michael, how many mail-in ballots we have received thus far in Lebanon County?
Yeah, we are at just about 9,000 entering today, Laura, and there are batches out there to process, so we'll be well over that after today's processing.
And my other question was, in terms of PPE at the polling places for the individuals that wish to vote in person, I assume the poll workers will, at the very least, probably be wearing masks. But what will the requirement, if any, be for the voters in terms of wearing a mask or anything like that?
We will be requesting all voters that come to the precincts to wear masks. However, Laura, we will not take away somebody's right to vote if they're not wearing one. So it is, at this point, a legal issue, but I believe we'll just leave it as a request and ask them to do that. Commissioner Litz, I think you might have missed this part, has, with the ladies that are helping her, will be supplying us with roughly about 10 masks at each location, that if somebody forgets theirs, they'll be able to pick one up there. But all of our poll workers will be wearing masks. They will have the protective equipment. Bob has helped us greatly with that and very much appreciated, along with the department that's sending precinct kits to us. So we are working diligently to make sure that our poll workers are safe, and that we do ask that the voters wear them, because the mask that the poll workers will wear protect the voter, and if the voters would wear a mask, that would protect our poll workers.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions, Bob?
I mean, just Laura actually touched on the second thing I was going to mention, and that was the PPE. And I know that not only did he mention about emergency services helping out with that, but that has been a question of some of the poll workers. They're trying to decide whether or not they'll participate on election day. Is will I have PPE? The state has promised a level of supply, which I guess is to be delivered mid-May sometime. But in the meantime, as Michael mentioned, DES really stepped up and was able to already designate and set aside an amount for the poll workers. So right now we have in hand the PPE for all the poll workers. And that's just if that makes a difference to anyone who's deciding whether or not to work. That's important.
Okay. All right, anything else, Michael?
I don't believe so. Just thank you for your support. Appreciate it. If you know anybody that wants to be a poll worker, have them call us. Honestly, it's going better than I thought it was going to at this point. We have had some calls on an ad I placed, and so far so good. Staff is doing an excellent job. I do want to thank my staff. They've been outstanding, taking things on, working here. But so far so good. Thank you.
Well, thank you and all your staff. And with that said, do I have a motion to adjourn the Board of Elections?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
All right, we are adjourned. Back to you, Bob.